Hey everyone, Cyril here. Another day of working on the truck. I guess I'm going to share because I'm sure you guys have had the same stuff. I have a day where absolutely everything has gone south on me this morning. We tried to push out the bearing for the truck yesterday. We pulled the bushing. We pulled the bushing out, pressed the mount out, pressed out the bushing. Tried to press the first of the two new ones we bought in and destroyed the bushing. So that's on hold. The truck is sitting on the jack, the cab is sitting on a jack and a 4x4. It cannot move until I can get the bushing fixed. I can't do anything with that till Monday. We cut a piece of metal pipe to push out the bushing yesterday. Destroyed the saw blade on the saw. It came with a new blade, which will do combination and will cut metal. So I've got 6 cuts to do. I have spent the last hour looking for where I put the blade when I got the saw. And I cannot find what I did with the saw blade. I've been all through the trailer, all through the truck. We're down to just a few days until we have to take the truck up to Line-X, and I can't do anything this morning. Nothing will work. There's so much dew last night. All the metal is wet. I can't sand anything. I can't paint anything. I can't cut anything because the saw blade wouldn't even cut a 1/16 of an inch. That was all the further the blade would go into the metal. That's it. And I cannot find the other blade. And everything is soaking wet. It is a very, very, very frustrating morning this morning. So, all right, well, I'm checking in. Thanks for letting me rant for a minute. And I'll go back to looking for the saw blade because I don't know what else to do. Without that, I've been online. I've been looking. Nobody sells a 10-inch metal cutting blade. So that's not happening. Can't just go buy another one. Looking at online, getting something shipped here. I can't get it here until the day we leave. I'm not having a good morning. Not having a meltdown, but I'm about as frustrated as I can get. All right, I'll check back with you guys later, see if things improve, hopefully. Hey everyone, it is warm out here, but we're working on stuff. So, still haven't found the saw blade. My discs ended up being okay even with the dew on them and getting wet. I'm down to 24 inches of weld left to grind on the deck for all the cross welds. Gonna get that today and get all that painted. And then I've got a little bit at the bottom on each side of this that I'll work on tomorrow. Been getting the L-track laid out and laid down. The front pieces here are not secured yet. So that's my next step, is work on getting those secured on the ends. I have basically 1 screw in each end of each L-track, which gets me where I need to be. At least getting them laid out. So I think today's going to be finished grinding all the welds, at least all the cross welds. I'm not going to do the ones on the by the center storage today because they're already painted. They're not going to rust. Get that done, get those painted today. Paint the pocket that I missed and it rusted on me, and I had to wire brush and clean back up. Get the L-track laid out, and then pull it back off, get it all painted, and I think that'll be a good day today. The L-track, as long as I have the ends secured, I could drill it and tap it in place even after it's rhino lined if I have to. I'd rather not, but that's a doable thing. So I'm not super worried about that. It's getting it all laid out properly. Getting the deck protected so all this raw steel doesn't rust when the dew comes in tonight. And then I've got to find a saw blade. So I can get these front pockets made for the flagpoles and get them in. And then I've got to get the ramp doors finished. Although again, if I clean them up and paint them, if I have them trimmed, well, have them trimmed early, that's all there is to it. A little bit of painting. There isn't much left on those. A little bit of cleanup. And then they're ready to rhino line, line X, whatever you want to call it. So we're getting close. The bushing went to crud on me. So I've got to go to Abilene on Monday. I called a couple places. They should be able to do that stuff, but their shop facilities are closed. On Saturday, it's just parts that's open. So we will follow up on that on Monday. So we'll try to have this deck as close as we can tomorrow night. And then that gives me Tuesday to wrap things up and put things away so we can leave Wednesday. And Monday won't be an all-day thing, I hope. But if I don't have a bushing, I ain't going anywhere. This truck right now cannot move. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll get back to it. Okay, well, this is a wrap for tonight. We got hole in the end and center of every L-track. Got them all laid out. Got the seams painted, sanded and painted. My back is screaming. Tomorrow, I can work on this tray, getting it wrapped up and finished and painted, getting the door done and on it. But I'm not doing it tonight. Mary wants to go to dinner, and frankly, so do I. I guess I can turn off the air compressor for the night. I'm done with it. Nothing more to blow off or blow out tonight. We searched high and low. We searched in the barn, which is where we put the saw together at. There is no saw blade to be found, which is really frustrating because I absolutely know that one came with it. I just don't know where we put it. So I guess that's a problem for another day, not for today. So, I'm tired. All right, well, I'm going to call it a day, and I will see all you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. What a thunderstorm last night. Oh, my word. Thunder and lightning and rain and not so much wind, a little bit, but everything's wet this morning. Well, everything's working superb. Everything we painted looks good. There'll be a little more cleanup to do, but all in all, I'm happy with that. The ramp trays, for the amount of rain we had, they're completely dry this morning. So they're draining just like they're supposed to. I'm just going to have to re-sandblast them because I didn't get them painted, but we ran out of time last night. We went to dinner, had a wonderful dinner, found a steakhouse here locally. So this morning's project is we are drilling 96 holes 3 different times. Starting with an 1/8 inch bit, going to an intermediate, and then my bit to get ready for the tap for laying down the L-track so that we can strap down the Jeep. So we're going to start with drilling the holes and then Maybe do some tapping. 96 holes by hand is a lot of holes to tap, so we'll see where we end up on that. But I've got 8 done, and what is it, 88 to go. Oh, no. 96, 74 to go. There's 12 in each track, 8 tracks, 8 times 12, 96. All right, I'm going to get to drilling because this is going to make for a long morning. Okay, 48 holes done, 240 to go. That's a lot of holes to drill. You may have noticed I have a piece of L-track back down over here. That's because when I piloted all these, I missed this one. There was nothing to follow to drill. So I had to put it in, pilot it, and now I'll take it back out, and then I can start on all the holes on this side. As far as I know, that's the only one I missed yesterday. But we'll find out as we go along. Okay, all in all, I can't complain. Everything's going pretty good. We've got the passenger side completely drilled. We had one hole yesterday that the tap broke off in that I'm not sure what I'm doing yet to try to get it out. That's going to be a pain in the butt. And then on this side, coming up here, the end of our 1/8 inch pilot bit snapped off in the bottom of this hole, which I thought I had cleared. So I tried to re-drill with the other 1/8 inch pilot bit I had, and I took the tips off the wings, so it's toast. I changed to some different bits. I managed to work my way up to here, and other than the one with the issue with the bit being in the bottom of it, those are all good and drilled. So I'm going to break off, go get some new pilot bits, try to get the rest of this drilled all the way up to the wall. And if I can get to there, and I only have 2 holes with an issue out of 288 holes to drill, I would say that's a pretty good day. And we'll deal with them as we get to them. All right, well, for the moment, I guess I can bring you up to the horizon, not be looking up at me. So for the moment, we're going to break off, and we're going to go get some drill bits and some taps. Okay, I'm back with more drill bits. All the holes are now piloted. I'm going to grab some lunch because my stomach is eating its way out. And then I'll come back and enlarge those ready for taps. And then we'll figure out where we're going from there. My arms are burning. Okay, we've got all the holes drilled out to size. Now it's just a matter of tapping a million holes. Yeah, realistically, I think there's about 80 to 85 holes left to tap. Whew. I'm hot, I'm tired. My rear's kicked. We'll see what we work on. I do want to work on the pockets today. I want to try to have those built and maybe get them tacked in today. We'll see where we get to. I don't think I'm going to work on the trays. I think my goal today is going to be getting some more tapping done and build the pockets for the flag poles. And see if I can do a better job than what I did the first time around. And if not, I guess we'll use whatever ends up the better of the two. All right. Bring you back in a bit. Okay, the first of the 8 pieces of L-track is fully tapped. This is going to kick my rear. I am so out of shape. I have not drilled and tapped this many holes like this in probably 20 years or more. Whew, it's been a long time. Whew. All right. I guess I'll keep going. I want to let it cool off a little bit before I start working on the pockets. So, still only about 2 o'clock, I think. 230, 237. So I'll tap another 12 holes, reassess. That'll have a quarter of it done, half of one side. And then we'll see if I keep moving. That little bar on the tap handle, this thing gets really hard on the hands after a while. Starts digging in and really getting sore. All right, time to keep moving. Okay, except for the hole in the middle of this L-track where the tap broke off back in the beginning, that is 2 out of 8 done, so I'm a quarter of the way done. Whew. Time to go get something to drink. It's probably close to 90 out here. It's getting hot. This deck is so hot it's burning my rear sitting on it. So I'm going to move over to this side after I have something to drink and work in the shade. Okay, we've got our cuts done for the stake pockets. Try to redo it. While I was out today, I found a fiber blade that would fit this saw. Not the right type of blade for this saw, I know that. But I needed 4 cuts. And getting a blade after we arrive at Line-X was not an option. So I needed something that would get me through. This got me my 4 cuts. If the blade gets thrown away for $7 and change, then I would say that that was $7, $8 worthwhile spent. Yeah, somewhere I know there's a blade, but don't ask me where. I have looked high and low and cannot find it. So I'm done with that saw. It can get put away, and I can start looking at what I'm going to do for putting together the flagpole pockets, how I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to work on those this afternoon, see if I can get them together. And I'll probably see if I can tap some more screws up there. We're halfway. So it's still early enough in the day. I think I'm going to push through and try to do some more. Anyway, I'll keep you informed as the day goes on. I've got today plus 2 more days to be ready for Line-X. Okay, we've started building the new pockets. We've got one side welded on at the bottom. The other side is floating free because I got to figure out my angle and set it up. Hopefully that came out. Anyway, so I'll have to get it under the truck, get it set to the angle, bring it back, tack it, and then check it, and then weld it on. And then we'll be looking at compressing across this end with a clamp to egg shape it along that direction so that when we weld the top, it pulls it back into round. That's the theory. Cross your fingers. Let's see if it works. Okay, we got these welded, assembled on the bottom. They're assembled. The tops are not welded. And there's lots of play in this. In fact, if you turn it upside down, they'll fall out. So this part so far is working very well. So next step is figure out how I want to proceed on this for putting these in. I'd kind of like to get these tops welded on the back at least. But I don't know, I got to think about it. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to think it over, how I want to proceed. I have the ability to check it as I'm going, so, but so far it's a lot better than the last set. And the fit is superb. So, all right, we'll come back once I make a decision or I think about something, and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, here's what I've decided. I'm going to do 4 welds on what'll be the back side that I cannot get to once it's in place. Leave the front side just tacked. Put it up in, weld the top collar with it clamped in place, then come back and weld up the front and weld it finish welding it in. And weld it in here. Anyway, weld it all in. So while that's sitting and cooling, I'm going to go up and tap a few holes. I'll come back down, do a weld, go up, tap a few holes, and I'll just work my way back and forth. That way this has time to cool down in between. Okay, we got that done. The back's tacked, the inside's done. It's tacked up into place. And there's the top, and we're going to go up and look at welding the top in. Well, for better or worse, the top of the first pocket is welded into place. And I've done the first weld on the second pocket. We've already ground that out to be ready for welding. So now I'm going to go back to tapping screws while I let that first weld cool. Well, the sun's going down. I've got one more weld to do on that one for tonight before I quit. We've got this pocket welded in from the top. I haven't welded underneath yet, just the 4 tacks still. We've got half of this side tapped. We have all of this side tapped. And 3 of the 4 pieces of L-track put down, the 4th one waiting until we get done with the flagpole pocket. We have the first flagpole pocket in, and it fits perfect. We will grab the flagpole and put it in real quick and show you what we've got. And then I'm going to go do that last weld, and we're going to call it a night. And that'll be that. Go have some dinner. Yep. I guess I got to clear the top. Watch where I'm putting it. And there is the flagpole. That is pretty much perfect. All right. Well, for that, I'm calling it a night, at least for you guys. I'm going to put you away. I'm going to go do that last weld, pick everything up, and have some dinner. Tomorrow, I got to be up in Abilene for that bushing when they open. Try to get something done on that. All right, well, everybody have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, we visited YouTube University last night. Got some ideas. We went to Abilene this morning. We got the bushing taken care of, so we have it to put back in the truck. We got some parts. We got the first broken tap out. We welded a nut on the back side of it. Had enough left, so we're going to see if maybe we can do that with the next one. I got to look it over real good, or see if I messed it up too bad with the punch trying to break it apart. So I'll look at that next, and then we've got the one with the screw to deal with. Okay, I managed to fix the second hole on this side, which is the one with the drill bit. Managed to get a hole going beside it and enlarge it slowly until we could punch the piece that was in there, a broken drill bit, through. And then welded it all shut and re-drilled it and tapped it. So that one's now good. And put a little paint on it because it was a bigger spot than I wanted. We're going to put that together. Then I think we're going to work on tapping these. And then we're going to go back to the front one up there as far as repair in the L-track. The pocket on this side is fully welded. It just needs to be sanded on the top. We are getting closer, a little at a time each day. Now I've got to weld the bottom part of this pocket, tap those, and fix that hole, wherever it is, right there beside the welder. I tried using a nut on that, and yeah, that didn't work. It's too far down in there. But it was a thought. I suspect that's going to be another one of those where I have to drill a hole out beside it, or a couple holes beside it, and make a bigger hole, and then get the tap punched out of there. I'm going to have to make relief so it has somewhere to go, but we can do that. All right, tapping next. Okay, it's 2:15 Monday afternoon. This is where we're at. There are 98 holes, including the 2 end caps down on the far end, 1 on each side. For this L-Track, we are 97 holes complete and tapped. I still have the one to repair here by the welder. My brain doesn't want to work. I have a plan for that. The left-hand pocket is completely welded. The right-hand one, I'll get the bottom side welded next. And then the only thing I have left for welding is this hole I got to repair when I get to it after lunch. And then I've got sanding on the deck, so I've got sanding for the 2 flagpole pockets. Bring them down flush with the deck. We have the sanding on these seams down here on either side of the center storage. And that should have the sanding done. And then we look at painting and assembling the covers for the trays. Because I have a sandblaster sitting here that I'm going to leave here in Texas, and I got to re-sandblast those to get them ready. So I want to get those done and painted before I leave. I've got a day and a half. I think we can make it, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be some long days. All right, I'll bring you back and keep you apprised as we move on. All right, let me get the welding done. Okay, that pocket is sanded down flush with the deck. Let the paint dry for a few, and we can drop our sleeve in it and put the flagpole on this side and put our last piece of L-Track on this side, and then we're ready to start looking at the other side. That worked superb. Okay, we're working on the last broken tap. I don't know how well this will show up, but we have 4 holes around the outer edge of it, and we are actually nibbling on the edge of the flights of the tap. Got a carbide steel drill bit, so the carbide will cut through that. We're just working slow back and forth, and then once we get to where this edge is through, we'll punch that out, clean it up, and then we'll weld it back shut and start over. Okay, we have everything punched out of that. That is quite the hole. So now we will weld it up. I'm probably going to put a pick in there a little bit and just make sure there's no pieces of tap that I missed, fractions of it, but probably work something around in there a little bit, and then we'll weld it up and do it over. That hole is clear. Tap removed, hole welded up. Drill it, retap it, and we should be good. Oh. Hopefully it's in frame. Oh, what a relief it is to have the final hole tapped. Of course, it's not done yet. The tap's not out. I have broke taps removing them. It's not unheard of. But okay, that is that. And confirmed. The hole is good. Okay. That is that. That is a good feeling. Alright, so my next step now, I got to sand down the pocket for the flagpole. That one's in. The flag is flying. It's up there. So surrender is no longer an option. Ugh. Any Marine will know what I'm talking about. Alright, back to it. I will keep moving and I will keep you guys apprised, but I think we're ahead of the battle now. And I am beat. I'm tired. Alright, I am not the smartest fish in the pond. I say that all the time. So, got that hole tapped, sprayed fresh paint over the holes, and then said, oh, I'm going to go sand the pocket and throw all that sawdust into the wet paint. So, no, that went on hold for a little bit. Let that paint have a chance to tack up. So instead, I moved on to something else, which I won't be able to complete without help, but I have it started. I got the bushing into the mount this morning at a shop up in Abilene. I have the mount back in the truck and we are sitting on the bushing. I have one bolt that I can't get to it with the impact and on the outside and the wrench on the inside by myself at the same time. So I'll need help with that when my buddy gets back. He's taking his wife to a doctor's appointment this afternoon. And then torque them and the truck is mobile again. That is one good feeling. And I suppose I can start putting side skirtings back on. That would be a good thing too. Alright, let me get some more drink because I get really dehydrated because it is mega hot out here. Today's a cooler day and I just stepped on my glasses. That was not the smartest thing. As I said, I'm not the smartest one in the bunch. Well, that sucked. Those are my good glasses, too. All right. So I'll come back when I have more news. Okay, flagpole pockets are complete. Both of them are sanded and painted. Paint down for the L-track, let it dry for a few minutes. We'll get that down. Put the tube back in. That will have the front half of the truck done. What's left now is sanding either side of the center storage. Getting it to where I'd like it to be. And then I'm going to try to get that done today. So then tomorrow that just lets me clean up the whatever those things are, the slide tray, the ramp trays. Get that second door on. I'll try to get it cleaned up and painted today. And then we're done. It's going to Line-X and getting the bed coated. So, wow, we are so close. And I am so whooped. I'm tired. This has been very, very exhausting. All right, I'll let you know where I get to when I'm done tonight. Okay, don't mind the air compressor. I've been blowing off the dust. This side's sanded. It's got to get painted still. The sun is right there. So I'm going to get to it, and then I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Today is the final day for wrapping everything up. Get ready to head to Line-X. The flag is up, so surrender is no longer an option. I've got one seam left to sand, about 3 feet long, about half of the inside storage length, maybe a little over on this side. And then I've got to finish up, I got to clean up these trays. I did it once, didn't get them painted, so they rusted back up. So I gotta get this finished up. I'm gonna try to get this ground down. I'd really like to get that seam either out or nearly out. Sand the bottom, get this all, whatever you call it, sandblasted, get it painted today so it doesn't rust. I think I'll just do it in black because that's quickest and easiest. Look at the other one, see what I got to do with it, because I have no idea what the inside looks like. Probably the same thing. And then I've got to trim a couple of ramp doors, a little fine tuning, get them put on, and I think we will be done. So I think what I'm going to do is start with the ramp door for here today. I've got to cut a 1/4 inch off the end of it. I think I'm going to cut that. It's laying over there. Get my brain to work. It's early still for me. Get it cleaned up, get it painted so it can dry. It's going to be near 90 today, which is hard to believe because it's actually kind of chilly right now. And then I'll move on from there. Probably move on to sanding the deck next because that's critical. And we'll figure out what's after that. All right, I may get started and I'll bring you along as I get things done. Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Still got that seam to do. I haven't sanded it yet. I've got this tray done to the degree I'm worried about, other than just at the bottom of that lip. I got to do some cleanup on that still. I wanted to give paint time to dry. So I'm going to take a break for a little bit, probably have some breakfast, and then come out and start looking at sanding. And then I've got a door to fit, and that door's got to be fit a little bit, and we should be good. Okay, it's Tuesday afternoon. The deck is sanded and painted and set up to travel. We've got all the L-track is down. The straps are actually on it. We've got straps up here just to carry them, just because. Yeah, it's looking really good. Flagpole's in its mount. It is nice and solid. The only thing I have left now, I've got a little bit of work on this tray so that I can do the last little bit of painting on it. It's that lower lip, lower edge. Pull the screws out, work on that, clean that up, paint it, probably paint the bottom a little bit if the wind allows. Put the door on, and I think the truck is done. I don't think I'm doing anything with that door today. In fact, I may end up rebuilding this door. I'm not 100% happy with it. Easy to rebuild, easy to do. So yeah, I'll probably rebuild that framework and build a new cover and do that over, but it is what it is. It'll work for now. All right, well, I'm going to take another break. Now that I've got that done, that sanding was a pain in the butt. And we'll look at getting that cover on, the ramp on, in, and door on, and then it's just packing everything up. I guess the ramp will wait because I got to load up the center storage. Got a bunch of stuff to go in it, but all right. It's warm out here. It's muggy and humid. We also, today while we were here, got the springs replaced on the back of the hitch, so it's sitting nice and flat. And we got the truck all put back together. All the panels, everything are on. Everything's tight. So truck is ready to roll. If time allows, I'll probably pull that front wall and look at pulling the water tank out, because I want to get it drained before we head north, because I think we're going to hit cold weather, and I don't want to risk it freezing and something breaking. So, alright, well that's where I'm at the moment, and I'll bring you back as I get more done. Good morning, everyone. Travel day today. We did get the truck done. Got to hook up, take it up. We're going to the Dallas area today. Drop the truck off at Line-X up in Plano, just north of Dallas. I'm mostly loaded up. Delighted with how it looks. Once we get up, we're going into a KOA. We'll have to get everything unloaded off the truck once we get up there. And then take the truck over to Line-X and drop it off this afternoon. I'm going to see if they will let us do any recording up there and see if we can do a video about Line-X and what they do and how they do it. And never tried doing something like this, so we'll see how that goes. So this is going to wrap up this week's video. We're normally wrap up on Saturday. This is Wednesday, so you got a week and a half's worth of stuff out of it. Yeah, just trying to get ready to move this morning. It's about 3 hours up to where we got to go. Get in, get set up, get everything unloaded, set up, and then another hour to take the truck up to where we're dropping it off. But anyway, so if you don't get anything else, you'll get a short at least on what the truck bed looks like coming back from Line-X and putting it back together. But hopefully we'll be able to come up, yeah, if I could talk. Hopefully we can go up there and do a little recording and show some of what they do. Anyway, we'll find out. All right, well, from Novice, Texas, we are signing off, and we will see you guys next week with something. Don't know what. Have a good week.